So this is a volleyball, and it's used to play the game of volleyball. Now it's relatively light, it's small and smaller than a basketball, and it's made out of either a leather or a synthetic rubber. This one here that I have is made of a synthetic rubber. Now in the game of volleyball, you score points when the ball lands in the court or a player touches the ball and it lands outside of the court. Now I'm sure that if you've ever watched a game of volleyball, you've been confused as to why certain players wear a different colored jersey, or certain players do or won't do certain things in the game. Now, volleyball is fast paced. Everyone's constantly in motion, and there's a lot of jumping. Now, I played volleyball for over 4 years, both in high school, during the high school season, and for club volleyball during the off season, and I played for over 4 years. And there are many different positions in the game, and they all have different roles and responsibilities. So, the different positions that we're going to be going over today are going to be the libero, the setter, outside hitters, middle blockers, and opposite hitters. So our first position, the libero. Now the libero is responsible for our team's defense. They're typically going to be the best passer on the team. And this is the player that has the different colored jersey than everyone else. Now what makes him special is that the libero can replace any player in a back row position. However, they cannot attack the ball. Now what I mean by that is that they cannot jump and attack the ball, and they cannot be in any of the front row positions at any time. Now if the libero is in charge of defense, who's in charge of offense? The person that is going to be in charge of offense is going to be our setter. Our setter is going to be equivalent to what a quarterback is in football, as they are the person who sets up our offense. They're the person who sets the ball, i.e. setter, that's why it's called the setter. They will set the ball for other players to attack the ball and to score points. So if the libero can't attack and the setter is the one setting up the attack, who is the one actually doing the attacking? We have 3 different options for our attackers. So we have our outside hitters, middle blockers, and our opposite hitters. So first, our opposite hitter. Our opposite hitter is going to be our most well-rounded player. What I mean by well-rounded is that they have a lot of responsibilities, such as passing, attacking, and blocking. They have to be able to do all of those things. So the outside hitter is going to be the hitter that is on the left side of the net. They will attack the ball from the left side of the court. After our outside hitter, our other option is going to be our middle blocker. The middle blocker attacks from the middle of the court, and the other main focus of the middle blocker is going to be to block the other team's attacks. Now, something I especially want to mention in this picture right here, the libero is typically the one who replaces the middle blocker in the back row. This is why we see in position number 6, MB, which stands for middle blocker / libero, because when the middle blocker goes into the back row positions, the libero will replace the middle blocker until it is time for the libero to go to the front row, in which the middle blocker will then sub in for, or will then replace the libero. So after our middle blockers, our next option is going to be our opposite hitters, which is also sometimes referred to as the right side hitter. Now, from the name right side hitter, they will attack from the right side of the court or right side of the net. Now, like the libero, who is the best passer on the team, our right side hitter or opposite hitter is going to be our best hitter, our best attacker. So that is going to be their main focus, their main role on the team, to focus on attacking. Now, what I mean by that is, say that the serve is coming from the opposite team. The opposite hitter is immediately going to get out of the way of the other passers and is going to immediately get ready to attack. Now, there are many different positions in the game of volleyball, such as the libero, who is responsible for our defense, our setter, who sets up the other players in order to attack, our outside hitter, who is the most well-rounded as they attack, pass, block, serve, etc. Our middle blockers, whose main job is to block and also attack. And then we have our opposite hitter, whose main focus is to attack. There are many different roles and positions in the game of volleyball, and they all have different responsibilities. Volleyball isn't easy. It's very fast-paced. Everyone is constantly in motion. But even though there are 6 different athletes on the court, all with separate jobs, they are all part of one team. So let me end this with a quote by John Cook, who is the head coach of the Nebraska University women's volleyball team. He says, "It comes down to these simple things: hard work, building good relationships, building a trust on a team, and creating a vision so that everyone is on the same page going forward." My name is Jacob Seacat, and this has been Learning Basics of Volleyball.